Hello, I'm Somesh Rahul, an information architect with the Understanding Group. With this short presentation, I'm going to preview the need and use of information architecture. Anybody recognizes this house? This is the Corman House, one of the masterpieces from the maestro architect Lou Kahn. Currently, the Corman House is housing the second generation of Cormans. The house got built in the year 1973 and was one of the last houses that Mr. Lou Kahn architected. So why is this house so special? And why is it one of the wonderworks? Before architecting this house, Mr. Kahn asked Steve Corman to detail the lifestyle and personalities of all the people who are going to use this space. He then asked Steve to detail the purpose of the house and how he envisions using this place. After this, he spent hours with each of the future residents talking about their likes, dislikes, and expectations from this house. In addition to this, Mr. Kahn visited the site each day and used to spend hours analyzing the ground and the area. The result of all this, the Corman House, which till date meets the expectations of all its residents and stands firmly on the grounds it was built on. Which one of you have been to the 9/11 Memorial? Great, let me share my experience and see if we can draw some similarity. The 9/11 Memorial astounded me by its architecture, design, and parallelity with the purpose. The memorial is built to honor the lives of the people who were part of this tragedy, the rescue force, and Mr. Minoru Yamasaki, the architect of Twin Towers. When the tragedy happened, people feared that the foundation of the Twin Towers might crack and give way to the water from the Hudson River flooding the entire Manhattan Island. But Mr. Minoru Yamasaki made sure that may what happened, the foundation should stay strong. Obviously, a plane with the full tank of fuel striking the trade centers was not one of the use cases, but earthquake and other natural calamities were. And the result of this was the strong slurry wall and the foundation, which till date stands strong, is part of the 9/11 Memorial. What I'm trying to say here is that architects build these amazing structures that not only meet people's current expectation but keep meeting the expectations going several years in future. During the Egyptian Revolution, Facebook was one of the places where the revolutionists met and prepared the tactics to overthrow the ruler Hosni Mubarak. Out of any other place in the town, Facebook and Twitter were most frequented, and Mr. Hosni Mubarak his ruling government tried to put a curfew on these digital places. 40 is the number of minutes that an average American spends on Facebook each day. When I first visited USA, people told me that USA is the land of pets. A friend of mine, also from India, joked, if I get a second life ever, I should be born as a cat in the States. A recent survey revealed that the average time people spend petting is 38 minutes a day, and Facebook is more than that. So if we can contest that these digital websites are actually places where people spend significant time, then we definitely need architects, information architects, to build these places made of information. More than that, today the budget allocated to building these digital places equals the budget for brick and mortar places. So, are there things that we can learn from brick and mortar architects that can help us architect these digital places better? The answer is yes, definitely. And I will bring forward a couple of principles out of innumerous ones that we practice at the Understanding Group. Always design a thing considering it in its next larger context. I'll explain this principle with the help of an example. Again, the Corman House. So Mr. Lou Kahn spent days analyzing the space before going forward with the design of this house. This was a country house built on a large vacant green field. So the next larger context here is the open green field. And because of that context, Mr. Kahn imagined this place having large front windows, as you can see in the image, to get ample amount of sunlight and scenery. If the next larger context was downtown New York, then this design would have failed miserably. Going to the next principle, intent should guide the structure. So Dan and Frank Carney, founder of Pizza Hut, prepared their first pizza in a hut-shaped house. Since then, they've wanted the structure to play a very important role in defining the meaning of this pizza place. They wanted Pizza Hut to be a reminiscent of a family-style dining. This is why their logo and all of their outlets are shaped like a hut, where the intent is deeply embedded in the structure. Now let me give you an example from the digital side of the world. Starbucks is one of the very few places that seem to get these principles from the brick and mortar world and implement them in their digital information world. Designers and architects of Starbucks digital places understand that the next larger context for the mobile app would be that the users want to quickly order their preferred coffee and pick it on the move. Hence, the app is heavily gravitated towards ordering, while their website is a place where the next larger context is discovery. Therefore, the website leads with the content on coffee, menu, and history. So in a nutshell, architecture has been one of the earliest traits, and there is a lot of knowledge that can be inherited and used in architecting these places made of information, so that they not only last very long but also meet the expectations of both stakeholders and people who live in and around these places. Thank you.